The next smaller project in the Assassin's Creed catalog of 9 games is Assassin's Creed Invictus. If you think, multiplayer in Assassin's Creed can't be right alongside the law not being held up to a high standard, you guessed wrong. Multiplayer has been a part of Assassin's Creed for a very long time, even in the early sections of the Assassin's Creed franchise. AC Brotherhood and Black Flag had multiplayer, and that whole area had multiplayer. But before we start, mind helping your boy out and assassinate that subscribe button. Thanks for all the support recently, it really means a lot. And let's take a look in the multiplayer of Assassin's Creed Invictus and how low accurate it can be. Games have always been held up into a high standard for the Roman Colosseum games. Spanish bullfights and competition have always been held up to a high regard in history and in the Assassin's Creed's history. Assassin's Creed 2 till Black Flag, that whole segment once again, all have multiplayer, and you could play, even in Black Flag, you could play as Blackbeard. You know, for Assassin's Creed Invictus, the only thing we know is from Tom Henderson, quote, Assassin's Creed Fall Guys inspired game where players will complete in matches of 16 players, end quote. With this, we know that we are playing in a multiplayer environment with a map to complete objectives. In my opinion, I don't get the Fall Guys as the reference or the starting point. You can choose anything, and you choose the one thing that is not only far away from Assassin's Creed as a game, but also in the art direction style, and the gameplay of Fall Guys can never match AC because the styles of it are so different. That's like saying fire and water is the same. It's not. But 16 players is very specific though. Wait, I got it. What if this can be like a Rainbow Six Siege but with just assassins, unknown to us, but we will need to know their stories and their lore for these characters so we don't get a Concord situation. As for the matches, what we could do, I think a team deathmatch style or a tournament coliseum free for all and a special thing that I will reveal a bit later can all work in this format. The team deathmatch is just simple. It's 8v8 players, 10-15 minutes. Which team gets the most assassinations wins. And you can hide in the map with the haystacks, hiding spots, and the crowd itself. And if you're if you get discovered, what if you could have multiple disguises? One civilian disguise, one military disguise to hide as an NPC Templar, or a assassin's disguise to hide as an assassin, just waiting for the support to be asked for by somebody who got like a kill streak, and those people could have throwing knives as a skill, like some special ability you get for being really good at the game and dominating the match for a minute or something like that. That would be amazing. Don't you dare tell me that's not true. This a tournament style Colosseum free for all would also be amazing because it would put everyone in a small area where combat could be the main focus. It doesn't also need to be a Colosseum. It could also just be a city or an island even with a lot of trees to match the aesthetics. You know, it could be the same, but it's everyone has just one life. And if you get elimed, then yeah, I'm gonna let you guys choose in the comments for that one. But the last thing that would really interest me is something special, something a bit more complicated, you know? Because we AC lore fans, AC lore is complicated, so we probably like that too. Last but not least, a Spanish bullfight system where in this match, two main segments. You have the first segment where you need to choose a player that is going to fight the bullfight, and this player needs to level up, and he needs to be hidden until the bullfight gets announced, and then you have to make sure that this guy in a capture the flag style goes to the waiting room for the bullfight. And then you get the bullfight where some very high, very VIP Templar or assassin is watching this game, and the other side needs to take that big VIP guy out, while the first side that has the guy with the bullfight, those guys, they need to defend the target, and this guy that fights the bull, he needs to take the bull out as quickly as possible to end this event and make sure that everybody leaves safely because of how quickly they need to do this. This would also be amazing because it could add for some tomato throwing stuff, you know? People could throw tomatoes to the first guy that fights the bull to weigh him down, and this would be amazing. It would be a bit complicated, but it would also be amazing. Or we could just also go for some classic stuff, you know? With previous Assassin's Creed games, if you want to take example of those, you could play as some classes in some game modes. This could also work. Maybe some classes could be more parkour focused and another class could be more combat tank focused. These differences can make for some amazing matchups. With this, we also get a tool and a different type of hidden blade because Assassin's Creed has that and we need some love for it. And this multiplayer, multiverse-esque style thing, if it's multiverse style-esque, but you could also say like a lot of people are traveling for like the Olympic Games. But if all of these things match up, then you can have different tools and different hidden blades to create your own class or your own character with this class, and it might be class specific. The weapon, like, what if some parkour guys get the hook blade to parkour way faster and way quicker, and the tank guys they don't get a hidden blade, they get something a gigantic hammer. They could get a gigantic hammer that could do massive amount of damage. It's a bit slow and weighs them down a bit, but this could only be used by them and it would be really strong to compensate for it. Or you could have a speed type which has like a glass cannon build and can go very quickly, do a lot of damage, get out really quickly, and throw some smoke bombs to evade everybody, and then just go back when some repeat do that stuff. This is all very complicated and could all be amazing. But Ubisoft, they probably need to take an example of other publishers and not just look at their own games to see what could work. For other publishers, they use smaller games and like a side game to experiment with different choices and styles of gameplay. Some games would work on these different systems and they could not risk that different type of style in a bigger, more budgeted game because those are like $100 million of worth and they need to be planned to the exact detail because they can't lose money. But the smaller projects, they might as well if the big stuff does big. And this could also work for some R&D, research and development to systemize better the main games. An example of this in even Assassin's Creed could be AC Mirage and the style of parkour they chose, the upgraded style from Valhalla, and the stealth and the tools and the level building design that they put in AC Shadows and tweaked just a bit for Shadows to be different and also good. But this could all work, and talking about this really makes me excited. I think I want to talk about more AC games that are planned like in this type of theorizing way because I really like it. But what do you think? That's more important. Would a multiplayer Assassin's Creed work and how would Ubisoft even do it? Thanks for watching.